Hello and welcome to Wednesday, October the 16th. It's day 2. I was very inspired yesterday when I started talking about my horror movies, going through my horror movie collection. So thank you very much for the suggestion. Hobbs Horror, I will once again link him below so you can go check him out if you so wish. He made a suggestion that I go through my my horror movies. And I've been doing that and grabbing, well, yesterday was the first one that I did. So today's day number 2. Day number 2. And I try to, I have so many over there. I'll go ahead and zoom in here again on, you may notice, I grabbed, woo, there's a finger for you. I grabbed this whole pile here, and then I grabbed some more in the back. And there's a reason for that. But yeah, all the rest of these are still horror movies. All the top there is nothing but horror movies. So I have this stack. That's a stack all on its own. But then I have like these two minier stacks to go through. And there's a reason for that. Because I was just going to grab the rest of it, because I noticed a lot of these, if you look at them, they're all the Full Moon Puppet Master movies. That's what these are. This is an entire stack of Full Moon Puppet Master movies. Okay, we have here on the top Puppet Master on Blu-ray, the original, one that started it all. We have, underneath that, Remastered Edition Puppet Master on DVD. We have Puppet Master 2 on DVD. We have Puppet Master 3 on DVD. We have Puppet Master 4 on DVD. We have Puppet Master 5 on DVD. We have Curse of the Puppet Master on DVD. We have Retro Puppet Master on DVD. We have Puppet Master Axis of Evil on Blu-ray. We have Puppet Master Axis Rising on Blu-ray. We have Puppet Master Axis Rising on DVD. We have Puppet Master The Legacy on DVD. We have Puppet Master The Legacy on DVD. And we have Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. I think they'd rather this one get forgotten about. I think a lot of the rest, well, because this is the one that was on Sci-Fi, right? If I remember correctly, this is the one that they tried to, because it wasn't really made by Full Moon or something. It was made by Sci-Fi instead, and then they get like, I think they get like cyber puppets or something. I can't remember. It's a little ridiculous. But yes, I think that's the whole collection. Puppet Master, I can't even remember how I first started watching these, but this was one of the first horror movies that I ever watched, and of course it's got the evil puppets there and everything. So I can't even remember how I probably my mom and her boyfriend or something probably rented them and I ended up watching them. I can't honestly remember how I started watching the Puppet Master movies, but I thought they were, cool. There's some gore to them if you enjoy gore, of course. Jester's pretty cool. Like Blade is everybody's favorite, and Blade is kind of my favorite, but Jester's pretty cool too. She's gross. She throws up leeches. That's Leech Woman. But Jester's kind of cool because you can kind of see, if you've never watched, he has different, his face is split in 3 little things, and his face will actually like spin around, and then, settle on, one of his looks. And the idea is Toulon had these puppets that he had this serum that gave them life and blah, 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 and, you know, of course, then they turn into evil puppets, and sometimes they're not evil puppets. And then, of course, there's Nazis. Always got to be Nazis. Puppet Master 4 and Puppet Master 5 were actually made at the same time and carry over into each other. Puppet Master 4 ends on a cliffhanger. Spoiler alert, I suppose. And then it's continued. The story is continued in Puppet Master 5. The problem with the Puppet Master movies, continuity is fucked. It's like out the window. It's like there'll be a puppet there, and then they'll disappear, and you'll have no idea where they actually went, and then they'll show up a few movies later, like, hey guys, how's it going? And you're like, what? You know, like, so yeah, it's kind of all over the place. And it's like, how do the puppets, because the first 5 movies focus on, at least the setting is the same. There's like this old hotel that the puppets live in, and, you know, different people come in to, like, they're like, oh, the hotel is haunted, or, you know, in 4 and 5, the guy is, he's testing out his own robots or something, and he's looking for his own quiet space to work or whatever, and that's how he ends up coming across the puppets, is because he's renting out the hotel to, like, do his research and whatever, and blah, 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 blah. But then after that, I guess they lost the rights to film there. Well, I don't know that they never actually necessarily filmed there. But yeah, so they start, you know, as of Curse of the Puppet Master, they started moving around different locations. So you're like, okay, well, how did they get there? And blah, I don't know. It just becomes a mess. And then, of course, you know, there's the flashbacks. Retro Puppet Master. And then this is part of, I don't know if this is the last one, Axis Rising. I feel like there was one more after that. But Puppet Master The Legacy is basically a clip show. That there's a little bit of new footage. Minxie's over there eating the paper from that. I moved a box to get these movies out. But yeah, it's basically a clip show that tells you about, you know, some spy came in there to something, and then I don't know, they're retelling the story of all the, see, I have 2 of these. But basically it's a clip show. The Legacy is just recapping everything that's happened, and it doesn't do anything to fix anything with the continuity at all. And then Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. Demonic Toys was another one of Full Moon's properties, and Sci-Fi, you know, made a movie with both of them. I'm pretty sure this is the one. It does have Corey Feldman in it. I feel like Corey Feldman was in the Sci-Fi one. Because I feel like this is the one that kind of gets left out of, you know, like when they do a group, all the movies put together, they end up leaving that one out. Maybe they don't have the rights to include that one. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But the problem with this is, like I said in my last video, I get a lot of the Full Moon grab bags and different, like, mystery boxes and whatever, and blah, 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 blah. And I think I've had a couple that were, like, specifically, you know, Puppet Master movie boxes, or mystery boxes. And they always include movies in there. In fact, the one mystery box that I paid for to make one of the new Axis Rising movies or whatever, the mystery box came with every single movie. It came with like a DVD of every single movie from 1 to, you know, I don't think it had Demonic Toys. I think Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. I think they left that one out. Like I said, maybe they didn't have the rights to it. I don't know. But yeah, the mystery box came with a copy of every single movie from 1 to the last one. So that's why I have multiple copies of these things. But so we'll start on these 2 little stacks here, since that whole thing is Puppet Master, and I've talked about that. This is another one of, I talked about Wicked Pixel Cinema yesterday. See, there's Mr. Eric Stans. He signed this for me in memory of, when you order from them, when you order from their website, they usually sign their stuff. So this is, I don't believe I've watched this one. But Wicked Pixel Cinema is a local, I happened to come across their movie Savage Harvest on Netflix. And the girl in one of the girls in the movie looked like she was wearing a T-shirt that said a restaurant somewhere in Missouri. So I looked up Wicked Pixel Cinema, and it turns out they're based in St. Louis. So that's how I got started on the Wicked Pixel Cinema movies, and you know, getting them. And this is another one. See, there's Wicked Pixel. There's their little guy right there, and they're probably their website. I don't know, it's backwards. So yeah, you can get on their website and look up their movies. I think they have a fairly new movie out. I don't think this is the newest one. What was this one? 2018. Maybe this was the newest one that they have out. I don't know. Why don't I just throw everything? I don't think I've watched this one. I don't think so. But anyway, once again, it's another one of those, I haven't watched it, but I have it. And here we have Manos Returns, Kickstarter exclusive edition. I paid money to be in this. I paid money to have my picture on the wall. So if you watch this, apparently there was only 2 of us that paid to have our picture in the hallway. And the other one, they have like a wedding picture, and it looks like really happy, but mine is just like, it's very shadowy, and I actually have, what I'm playing with is, somebody gave me one of the Doctor Who screwdrivers, sonic screwdrivers for Christmas, and I went in my bathroom and I was lighting up the sonic screwdriver and taking pictures, and this picture was, so it's like mostly dark, but like you can see my eye, and there's like weird lighting to it, and I thought it would be super creepy, you know, for them to put in the hallway of this movie. Of course, you know, got started on it from Mystery Science Theater. And then, you know, they tried to, she's very active with her fans on Facebook and everything, and that's the little girl. She's the little girl from the first Manos movie, and they got her dad to be the master again, and it was very lucky. He got to be the master again, and unfortunately, after the movie was. I think he might have got to see it before he passed away, but unfortunately he passed away after he made this. But he was so happy to be able to do this and play this role and, you know, have fun with it again. So it's a little bit cheeky, it's a little bit funny, it's a little bit scary, it's a little bit suspenseful, you know. So if you enjoyed the first Manos movie, see, we got Torgo in there, not played by the same guy, but you'll probably, you know, enjoy this. See the next chapter. The next chapter. Before the next chapter? I don't know. And here we have Sinister and Sinister 2. And like I always said, look, it's a shiny slipcover. I love shiny slipcovers. I am a sucker for these things. So if it has a crazy little slipcover, I'm gonna need it. This one's a little bit more like bloody, kind of that sticky bloody kind of thing. I liked this. I did like this. I'm pretty sure I watched the second one. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm trying to look on the back of it to like remember. But I don't really remember. I'm sure I watched it, but of course it's been a while, and it has a shiny slipcover though. So I do remember I liked the first one. I don't know that I necessarily like the second one as much as I like the first one, but they were interesting, you know. Interesting. I think I like the first one better than the second one. Of course, like I said, I don't really remember the second one, so I guess that's probably true. If I remember the first one more than I remember, obviously I liked it better. And this is one, I wanted to go see this in the theater, but I did not make it to see it in the theater. It's Mama. And once again, shiny slipcover. So nice. So pretty. So pretty. So pretty and a little gritty. Once again, I don't really know what to say about these movies. It's been so long since I've seen most of them. I don't really remember that, but I know I enjoyed this one. I know this one is worth. This one I would definitely say, much like the first Sinister. I mean, I guess if you watch the first Sinister, you might as well watch the second one. Just, you know. I mean, you know, to see the whole story, I suppose. But I would say Mama and the first Sinister are worth a watch, at least one watch. I sort of remember this one being a bit creepy because there's like this old house out in the woods or something, and they're like out in the old house in the woods and stuff. So I do remember this one. I do remember enjoying this one, and I feel like I enjoyed this one even more than I enjoyed the first Sinister movie. So, whoa, come back, Betty. And then we have blah 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 blah. It's a shiny sticker, at least. The Woman in Black and The Woman in Black 2. Now, I know this was one I really liked. I guess I'm a sucker for, like, atmospheric kind of things. So this old creepy house that not Harry Potter, is staying in all by himself and whatever. And I think that's part of the problem with the second one, is because, like, she's not alone by herself in the house. Like, I think there's kids around. There might even be, like, a housekeeper or somebody who some guy that comes in from the town or whatever. So she's rarely ever at the house by herself. And I think that's part of why I mean, it was all right. It was okay. It wasn't I don't remember it being as good as the first one. But that's because this one, I guess, was very, atmospheric, and it was very, not claustrophobic, but, like, he spent a lot of time out at the house, like, by himself, and I guess that feeling of being alone, See, there's the guy that comes in from the town. So, I mean, there again, if you see the first one, and I would suggest the first one, once again, The Woman in Black is a good one. You might as well, I guess, watch this to see more of the story, if you so choose, if you so wish. And then we have Cult of Chucky. And see, look, it's all 3D, and it's so fancy. Is this one of my... No, I did start getting 3D Blu-rays, because I have a 3D Blu-ray player, and someday I want to get a 3D... I want to get a 3D TV so that I can watch my 3D Blu-rays. But of course, if it's a fancy slipcover, I'm going to fall for it every time. And he's like all 3D and shit. And this was actually, like, Jennifer Tilly's in it, so that's cool. This I felt was one of the more, I want to say this was like a direct-to-DVD thing. Maybe? Because I know the one before this, which I don't have... Well, I do have, but not in this pile, unfortunately. I don't have the two of them together. Because the one before that... see, I always end up doing that. I always end up playing with these things. I don't know if that one was in the theater either. They might have both been direct-to-DVD. I can't recall. But I think that they were... like, I enjoyed them. I don't necessarily know that I enjoyed some of the later Child's Play movies, like Seed of Chucky. I mean, I might have to watch them again, just to, I guess, because it's kind of one of those things, like, Chucky started as, like, and I do want to see the remake, the one that came out last year, or earlier this year, whenever that was. I missed it. I wanted to go see it in the theaters, because the new doll looks kind of creepy. I did enjoy the new doll. But Chucky started out as something very serious, and then as time went on, it kind of become more tongue-in-cheek, more of a joke. And I think I wasn't open to that idea, because it started out like, the first Child's Play movies are like, legit horror movies where there's this, this doll, this evil doll that's coming to get you, and blah, 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 blah. And then it started turning into more like jokes and kind of, like leaning more toward like Sharknado and bullshit. And I wasn't really, like, I wanted the movies to stay more horror, more, suspense, more terror, that kind of thing. And I think the last two movies, this one and the one before it kind of got back to that a little bit more than just, you know, being ridiculous and, you know, kind of out there and kind of stupid and kind of funny. You know, I think these last two movies towed the line a lot better than some of the other previous entries in the middle there for me personally. So I would, but I think this one, I think Cult of Chucky is a continuation of the previous one, because I think one of the characters is the same. I want to say, I can't remember for sure. So I can't remember what the one was before this. So if you're going to watch Cult of Chucky, watch the one before this first, so you can kind of get an idea of the story, or you know, kind of understand. I don't necessarily know that you have to watch it, but I guess if you're kind of like a completist kind of mentality, be sure to watch whatever comes before Cult of Chucky, which I can't think of what it is. And I don't necessarily know. Eventually, it'll be one of my piles. So, the two movies are connected. At least, I think one of the characters is the same. So just to kind of, you know, if you want to know the full story, I guess, be sure to watch whatever the previous film was in the franchise, and before you watch this one. So. Let's see, he looks really nice and evil there on the back cover. And now we have Gasm. This was, I got this in a horror block, I think. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because there's no description on the back. There was nothing. You can see my camera though. Hi. It was just Deathgasm, and you can see he's missing some of his fingers. And it turned out this was a movie that I wanted to see because one of my favorite Power Ranger actors is in this movie as one of the main characters. And it has to do with like it's one of those once again that toes the line between being funny and being serious, like, you know, horror and suspense and thriller and blah 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 blah, that kind of stuff. And it's something to do with, once again, it's been a minute since I've watched it. There's something to do with this song. There's this song that they come across somehow, and it turns out it's like a magical kind of spell kind of song, and then they end up like releasing like demons upon the world because they've started singing this song, or they're turning people into zombies or something like that. This song is somehow like controlling people and turning them into monsters, kind of thing, you know, and then dealing with the fallout of all of that and blah 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 blah. So Deathgasm is definitely worth a watch. It's one of mine that's definitely worth a watch. Now, this is a movie I was super excited for, The Boy. And I want to say that they've made a second series. I'm going to get a little bit spoilery here. If you haven't seen The Boy, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. I was very disappointed with the end of this one. I was very excited for it to be like a, you know, because they set it up like it's a ghost, like an evil doll sort of story, you know, ghost story. And that's what I wanted it to be, and I'm judging it for not being that. You know, I actually had seen the twist in a previous movie, and it was done a lot better in that movie. And I mean, maybe if I hadn't seen it in this previous movie, maybe it would have been more effectful here. But maybe I would have been like, wow, that's kind of cool, you know. But I was really looking forward to this being, you know, the evil doll, you know, a ghost kind of spirit kind of evil story, and that is not what I got in the end, and it was very disappointing for me. So that's my judgment of this movie. Is it didn't give me what I wanted. So that's the last one I have in my pile. So I unfortunately have to end on, you know, end on a bad note, I guess. But maybe if there's a second one, there might be the boy too. I don't know. I'd probably end up watching it anyway if there's a second one. Maybe they'd get it right the second time. I don't know. That was just very disappointing. That was just very disappointing to, you know, not be what I wanted it to be. But but anyway, I'll shut up. So if you've had me paused, you can come back, or if you've had me muted, if you've had me, you know. Oh, hey, my heat's coming on. Super cool. Even though it's not as cold today as it has been, but whatevs. The apartment is judging me for not liking the boy. But so yeah, you know, that's my next pile of movies. I'm sure I've probably talked for another 20 to 30 minutes, and you know, probably on the next one I'll talk for another 20 to 30 minutes. But now I have to go clean up my kitchen because my landlord is going to come in here tomorrow. He does like maintenance every month or every other month or every couple months, something where he checks for leaks, and he replaces the furnace filter if it needs it, blah 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 blah. And one of the things he's gonna try to set up for me is my ice maker. My ice maker in my fridge has never worked, but that's because there's no line to it. So there's no water line to the fridge for it to make ice for me, to have ice. So he left a note on the door letting me know that he was gonna, well, he leaves those notes on everyone's door to let them know he's coming in for his regular maintenance. And then I had a handwritten note at the bottom of mine saying he was gonna try to come in and get that hooked up for me. But the problem is I have a bunch of shit in front of my that I have to move to get out of his way so that he can actually do that. So that's what I guess I'll be doing today. So I'll probably do another one of these tomorrow, maybe before referee gets on my lap. Too late, he's already on my lap. Hopefully maybe early before my landlord, you know, gets here for the day, so that, you know, I can be sure to have it done, so that he doesn't come knocking on the door in the middle of my video. But anyway, thanks once again for watching me blab on about my horror movie collection, and I will see you for what I see ya.